Petra sat in the dim glow of the living room, her hands wrapped tightly around a mug of lukewarm tea. The house was silent, except for the creaks and groans of its old wooden frame, sounds she had grown used to dismissing. She stared blankly at the dark television screen, her reflection barely visible, and wondered if she was even there at all. Years ago, Petra had been the top of her class, graduating with a master's degree in business. She had dreams of leading companies, shaping industries, and carving her name into the annals of success. But life had taken a different turn. She became a stay-at-home mom, married to Nathan, a man who'd once been charming but now wielded words like weapons. "You're useless," he would mutter when she forgot to fold his shirts just right. "You don't contribute anything." She stayed. For the kids. For her reputation. For fear of the unknown. Her two children, Leo and Emma, were her lifelines. Yet even they couldn't shield her from the suffocating weight of Nathan's constant belittling or the growing darkness in the house. Lately, it wasn't just her husband's words or her inner demons she battled. Strange occurrences had begun to plague their home, shadows that moved without light, whispers that echoed when no one was there. At first, Petra dismissed them as figments of her frayed mind, but soon, even her children began to notice. "Mom, there's someone in my closet," Emma whispered one night, her eyes wide with terror. Petra would investigate, finding nothing but a cold draft and her own doubts. One evening, when Nathan had stormed out after another argument, Petra found herself alone. The house seemed alive, every corner brimming with malice. Her reflection in the mirror seemed distorted, her face unfamiliar. The whispers grew louder, overlapping until they became unbearable. Then came a knock at the door. Petra froze. Who would come at this hour? When she opened it, her heart nearly stopped. Standing there were two women, both identical to her but impossibly different. The first was disheveled, her hair unkempt, her eyes bloodshot. She wore sweatpants and a hoodie, a gaming console tucked under one arm. "Hey," she said with a nervous laugh, "I guess you could call me Petra, version 1. The one who never left mom and dad's basement." The second woman exuded power. She wore a sharp black suit, her posture rigid, her expression unreadable. "And I'm Petra, version 2, she said, her voice cold and clipped. The one who chose her career over everything else. Petra stepped back, gripping the doorframe to steady herself. "I'm losing my mind," she whispered. "Not yet," Basement Petra said, stepping inside. "But close." CEO Petra followed, her heels clicking against the floor. "We don't have much time. The demons are real, and they're feeding on you." "Demons?" Petra echoed. "The shadows, the whispers," CEO Petra explained. "They're manifestations of your fear, your regret, your self-doubt. We're here to help," Basement Petra added. "And, to warn you." "Warn me?" The two women exchanged a look. Basement Petra slumped onto the couch, fidgeting with her gaming console. "Look, I didn't try. I gave up on school, on life. I thought it was easier to hide in my games and let mom and dad take care of me. But it's not. I'm stuck, Petra. Alone, with nothing to show for myself." CEO Petra folded her arms. "And I tried too hard. I thought success would fill the void. I clawed my way to the top, but at what cost? I have no family, no friends. Just endless meetings and an empty penthouse. But Petra began, her voice trembling. "I stayed. For my kids. For my family. And look where it's gotten you," CEO Petra said bluntly. "You're wasting away in a loveless marriage, letting your potential rot. You're no better off than either of us." Before Petra could respond, the shadows in the room began to coalesce, forming dark, writhing shapes. The whispers returned, louder and more menacing. "They're here," Basement Petra said, her voice shaking. She dropped her console and stood. "Time to fight." The three Petras stood together, battling the demons with everything they had. Basement Petra wielded a lamp like a sword, while CEO Petra hurled books with precision. Petra, the real Petra, screamed, pouring all her anger, fear, and frustration into the fray. Slowly, the shadows dissipated, the whispers fading into silence. When it was over, the house was still. The two other Petras turned to the real one. "You have a chance we didn't take," CEO Petra said, placing a hand on her shoulder. "Don't waste it." Basement Petra nodded. "You can't stay here. Not for him. Not for anyone. Be brave." As the two women began to fade, Petra felt something shift within her. When they were gone, she stood alone in the living room, the air lighter, the house silent. The next morning, she packed a suitcase for herself and her children. She didn't have all the answers, but she knew one thing: she couldn't stay. It was time to face the unknown and find herself again. For the first time in years, Petra felt real.